is Donna and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and Abundant Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. I'm at the farm right now. Oh, by the way, don't forget netnewsnetwork.net. You'll also find us there as well. But again, thank you so much for watching. We're out on the farm, and we're talking about the food shortages, and what can I do? I'm just a little person out there. I'm at the mercy of not having a food supply chain. You are. You can do your own. I promise you. If I can do it, anybody can. So I've been going to the Master Gardener classes taught by Brian Brown, and he is with the Auburn Extension Services, and I have learned so much under his guidance. And Brian is a regular on the show here as well. So we're out in the garden, and I just had an episode where we are talking about using the concrete block system. And I'm going to tell you what, I love it. I wish we had been doing this a long time ago. So this has been like pretty cool. So I'm going to walk you around, let you see a few other things at the farm. And we just had some bees to come in. You want to walk around and see some bees? Let's go ahead and see them, okay? So let's just take a walk. You can kind of see. Let me go ahead and lock this thing down so it stops moving. There we go. Oh, it doesn't want to lock down. I'll just hold it this way. So anyway, we have bees. Now they have found the pear tree. And so really excited about these bees. And I have to tell you, you respect them, they're going to respect you. Okay, so there they are. They're coming in, they're coming out, and we'll have us some nice, nice honey. Now, I'm going to leave these bees alone for a while because I really want them to have their own food throughout the winter time so they don't swarm. So we'll probably not collect honey from this hive this year, but we'll collect it from this one. Okay, so there's more blocks. We're going to have more gardening area right in there. Now, don't be surprised if some of the bees kind of swarm around. But I wanted to show you something. I don't know if you can see these really well. These right here are actually sunflowers that I made from cola cans. And I went on ahead and made these because my granddad, when he had a farm here in his garden, he always had these aluminum pie plates. And he would get them and just kind of take them out at strategic areas of the garden just to keep blackbirds and birds and stuff away. So I made these, and we're going to have a show. I'm going to show you how to make these things. I've got them strung up on wire. This is just regular floral wire. And I made little brads to go in the middle of them so they don't tear, because I'm pretty sure after a lot of wind that we can get right here in Alabama, they could, just break off. So I put that in for extra reinforcement, but I'll show you a little bit later how to do that. Okay, now here are some raspberries, and you can see we're going to have quite a few raspberries coming up. I'm about ready to prune some of them already. And Cheryl Baker came out here from Baker's Farms, and we had ourselves a blast. So she said, what I need to do is cut this. Now, got a node right up here, so it needs to be cut right there, okay? So you got your flowers. It's already ready to sprout and do its thing. So she said, why don't you go ahead and cut that off? And then what I've got is a couple of rootings that I can have just off of this one. And then I'll just dip those in some rooting compound and go for it. So you can see we're going to have a lot of raspberries. Now I had a couple of ideas, and this is one that did not work. So I did not use the rooting compound on this one, and see, it didn't work. You can find this at your workers co-op, farmers co-op. You can also find these on Amazon, and I'll send you a link so you can see exactly what you need to be getting. And see how healthy that is? I did not use the rooting compound on that one, and I used it on this one, so you can see the difference. And the bees are going to love this. They've already been kind of swarming around here. Okay, now another thing I want to show you. By the way, I save old doors and stuff, and I've got a project in mind for these. I found these out in the barn. I love those doors. Okay, so these are Concord grates. And so this is something else I tried last year, and it worked. So I had a little plant. It just wasn't working. I mean, it wasn't promoting fruit or anything. So what I decided to do was root those, and I did. And then I went on ahead and cut them back. I pruned them, and you would have thought I had killed them. And look how healthy they look. They look really good. I haven't even put any fertilizer out on them yet. So they look really good. I've still got a little pruning I've got to do on them. You're constantly pruning. This is something I have learned. And so take a look at the concords right there. Now this is, and that's more concord, and those are some that I rooted. Okay, now the big experiment last year was the concrete block garden, and I'll have to tell you, I love it. Now last year, we believe in rotating crops. Last year, I had tomatoes and cucumbers growing out of these. So I decided to go ahead and just use this one this year just for the raspberries. Okay, and again, you're constantly pruning. And it comes to a good thing. Don't throw these away. When you cut it down to this and you go to that node right there, look, I've got 1, 2, 3 more plants I can have for next year. I can sell them, I can give them away, I can do all kinds of things. I was about to dig this one up, but then look, see, there's some leaves coming on that one, so that one turned out pretty good. I keep my buckets, keep water all the time. I'm going to put some more of the raspberries in these 3. And again, it's the same process I used in the earlier video. You've got 2 of the concrete blocks. You can see that there's 2 of them, and that's plenty big enough. Isn't that cool? Okay, so I found this out in the barn, and I just kind of like it. I just think it's cool looking. So my grandparents probably had that when they had a fireplace years ago. So I've used it out in the garden. I love art, garden art. Found this, and I definitely remember when they had a carport a long time ago. This right here was a column they used on the carport. So I've got some ideas for that as well. Okay. And also, of course, we ordered all these blocks, concrete blocks right here. So I have some pallets. I have some ideas we're going to use on that. We're going to have a show as well. Okay, we were looking at the bees. They're swarming around doing their thing. They're collecting pollen. And Phil wants to cut the grass, and I won't let him do it yet because look at all these flowers. And I mean, they're going to be eating on all this pollen, you know. So here we go. The blackberries. Now these are the thornless, which is pretty cool. The thornless blackberries. And so I can't wait for the blackberries to come in. Okay. Oh, and by the way, I had a pile of wood, and I used my wood chipper. And so I've been using all of this as mulch down in the garden. Oh, and I want to show you something else. Grapes live forever. The grapevines will live forever if you're good to them. And let me show you. This is one Mother planted years and years and years ago. It hadn't been pruned like it should be, so that's why it's growing kind of like that. But look, we pruned it almost down to nothing. And see how good it's looking right there? And then this is one my grandmother set out. This thing has to be at least 30 years old, I would think. And so we pruned it back. It looked as if we had killed it. We didn't. Look. Now I'll have to prune it back a bit more next year. And look, grapes already coming on it. Isn't it neat? Yeah, in class we learned, through Brian Brown, in class we learned that you're continually pruning all throughout the year. Oh, and I want to show you something. The bees will swarm, and they love the peach tree. By the way, we've got some little peaches coming up. I don't know if you can see that. See the peaches? This is the peach tree. Now this is how you prune a peach tree. Okay, so, and it looked as if we'd killed it. And we're constantly pruning. We're going to have to take those off. I don't want them on there. So for a peach tree, you want a good open area right here so it can breathe. And when it can breathe, it's going to produce more. Let's see what time it is. It could be just about time to go into a commercial break. Is it? Now, we've got a good couple of minutes, and then we'll have to go to a commercial break. But anyway, see, I don't want these on here. I don't want to tear those off. I'll have to use my clippers for this, because if I tear it off, I can create an issue right here. I can create disease on this tree. I don't want to do that. So I'll get my clippers out here and I'll clip those things off. Because what they're doing is taking up all the energy that the fruit needs. I don't need those here. And if they start growing and they grow out here, well, what's going to happen is I'm not going to have the airflow that I need to go through here. So you want your peach tree to grow like that. Now, you want to take a look at my bees? So right now they're up in the pear tree. And they are having themselves a blast. They're going to be taking back some nectar. They're going to be taking back all kinds of things to the queen bee. And the queen bee is going to be really, really happy. You got to have the queen bee happy. You know that. Take a look at that. I'm going to see if I can get it so you can see them. All right, now focus. Focus. Yeah, I'm right here in front of them. Yeah, if you were afraid of them, they're not going to do well. They're going to come and try to sting you. And I've only been stung once, and this is when we robbed them the very first time. And I thought I had all the bees off of me, so I was taking off the outfit. You know, you have to wear all this netting and stuff like that. So I took all of it. Look at there. Aren't they beautiful? I love my bees. They're going to have so much honey. And I'll have to tell you, since we got the bees, we have had the absolute most beautiful garden you could ever have. So, I mean, it's just, I love it. Oh, here's compost pile. Hey, buddy. Buddy, you want to say something to everybody? You going to be shy? You going to be shy? Hey, buddy. Say hi to everybody. Oh, he's being shy. Okay. All right, you don't have to speak. All right, now I'm going to take you inside the greenhouse in just a minute. I've got everything open because I wanted to show you something. This is the compost pile Phil built. And I love it. We put everything in here, and I'll have to tell you what, digging down in there is some of the most beautiful dirt you've ever seen in your life. We put everything in here except weeds. Now this is from the wood chipper right here, and so this is going to have to be, you have to spear it with a pitchfork, and this is going to be beautiful compost in just about a year. So it takes a good year for this to do its thing. Okay, I like any of this so that there's no printing on it. And then on this right here, we took all of the tape and everything off of this Walmart box. So that's over. So anyway, Phil made a really, really nice compost holder, I guess, or a box, or whatever you might want to call it. Oh, it's going to a commercial break. We're going to be right back in just a minute, I promise. The only place I buy my beef is Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama. Their cattle is born and raised on their ranch, grass and grain fed, and you can feel confident when you serve your family and friends because their beef is all natural and no antibiotics or hormones are added. You can buy whole beef or perhaps go in with family or friends and buy half. Their customer service is #1 as they take care of the delivery to their local processor and can deliver to your home for a small added fee. They also offer herd replacement heifers. I always call Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama for my beef specialty recipes and cookouts, and you can too. Food shortages are increasing, so buy local by calling 256-523-6462. That's 256-523-6462.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer
yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and my employees and I want to thank each and every one of you for your continued support. With everything going on right now, your rest is so important. That's why we're having the biggest MyPillow sale ever. Not only are my bed pillows as low as $19.98, but you can get the best body pillows ever. Regular $89.98, now only $29.98. Take your rest on the go with our Roll and Go Anywhere MyPillows for only $14.98. And we have our new couch and accent pillows. They aren't just for looks. They have MyPillow's patented adjustable fill that gives you that amazing MyPillow comfort. In this economy, you get the best gifts ever for the best prices ever. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code and you get deep discounts on body, couch, bolster pillows, and so much more, including my original bed pillows for as low as $19.98. Please order now while quantities last.
At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to limonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Limon's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Limon's Mexican Restaurant. Let Rhonda at Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC take the burden off you for all your tax needs. I know because Rhonda has been taking care of my business since 2013. I feel Rhonda works for me because she knows the direct questions to ask to better benefit my unique business in order for me to get back the biggest refund possible. Rhonda is an ongoing student, and she knows tax laws are in a constant change every year. Call 256-281-9903 for an appointment to take the dread out of getting your taxes done. Rhonda is located at 11968 U.S. Highway 431 in Boaz. Again, that number is 256-281-9903. And let Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC champion your personal and business taxes. Donna's Designs offers a line of handmade memorial, wedding, and keepsake jewelry that launched back in 1970. I'm a self-trained jewelry designer, and I will work closely with you to create unique designs you can love and treasure for years to come. Whether that be flowers that were used in a funeral arrangement or stones you found on the beach at a memorable trip, call me at 256-659-4319, and let's think of the possibilities. Okay, we are back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio. So we've been renovating the house, and the house is a mess. I tell you what, every time we do something, I say, I'm never going to do this again, ever. Hey, buddy. I'll say, I'm never going to do this again. Well, here we go. We're renovating again. So the old bathroom, which was actually off-site of the kitchen, I didn't like really where it was. So we went on ahead and took this tub out. Now, this thing is cast iron. Phil and I did it. I should have muscles by now. But anyway, we took that out, and Phil said, well, we'll get somebody to haul this off. And I said, no way. We're going to use this for a strawberry garden. And it's loving it. So I did the same deal. I made my own compost in the bottom of this. So I went on ahead. Now, this is a little hole. We got holes inside this thing, but this is where the drain was. So I made that as a hole also. And then another thing I did is put cardboard down in the bottom of it. I wet it really, really good. I put some of the grass clippings, the dried grass clippings that were in the bottom of it. And then I put dirt on top of it. And then I did another layer. I did some more of the cardboard and some more also of the dirt, straw, and then I did more dirt. But take a look at this. Isn't it beautiful? It's a beautiful thing. Look, blooms already. Well, strawberries going to be coming out of this. Isn't it beautiful? Nature's a beautiful thing, I'm telling you. All right, I'll go ahead and put this back just a little bit. There we go. Because I want to show you while I'm in this area of the garden. This whole thing's turning into one great big huge garden. Got to keep some grass. But this was a huge wood pile. And so I used my wood chipper, and let me show you what it looks like. There it is. This is the Sun Joe. So Phil asked me a couple of Mother's Days, years ago. He said, what would you like for Mother's Day? I said, I want a wood chipper. He said, you're one strange woman. And I said, yep, I know I'm strange, but I really want a wood chipper. I've got jewelry. I don't need any more of that stuff. I want stuff that's going to help me in the garden. The way I look at it is it beats the heck out of chopping it with an axe. And now you can't put a whole tree down in it, but you can put some pretty sizable 2-inch limbs in that thing, and it just chops it right on. You put a basket. That's actually I use a bucket. You can put a bucket down at the bottom of it, and it does a great job. I've had it a good couple of years, and I know it could wear out this year, but I'm gonna tell you, I love it. I keep everything. That's from an old greenhouse right there. I use that in the wintertime when I'm out here, and I've got everything opened up now, I want some air to come in. So I use these to go over boxes. So what I do, and I've got lots and lots of planters that I can use, but I like to use boxes. And they are reusable. By the way, I need to water some of these. That's some more sunflowers growing right there. I don't know if you can see them. Let's see if I can. You can see them just a little bit. So I planted some sunflower seeds, so we're going to see what happens with those. Now these are all tomato plants right here from the hydroponic system I had inside the house. And look how beautiful they are. I mean, they're just gorgeous. I'm ready to go ahead and plant those outside as well. I keep water. I never throw jugs away. These right here are some onion plants. And so I've had these growing in here since January. And look how beautiful they are. I'm about ready to go ahead and set those things out. So we go to a farm, and this was like a class trip. So we went on this farm, and we helped this guy to prune some of his muscadines. Take a look at them. I use this, it's a root compound, and all you do, you just get, and we call it a naked, something that's been cut off. And so this was just a naked plant that we got from the muscadines, and all I did was just dipped it in the root compound and stuck it into this really nice dirt right here. It also has some perlite in it. And every one of them are coming up. Now I'm wondering about this one right here. It's not really showing much, but I think out of 15 cuttings, that's pretty good. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm still going to cut these off at the nodes, at the very bottom node. I'm going to cut it off, and then I'm going to have more. I'm either going to sell them, or I'm going to broaden the muscadines. I may just do that, because I like muscadines. And then this is like from a pile of stuff I threw away, and look, there's a bean coming up. I think that's probably a pinto bean. That surprised me. So here it is. Okay, so anyway, this is where I like to hang out in the wintertime because, again, I like being outside, and I like green and all that stuff. So let's go on ahead and let's check on the bees again. Pear tree. Now, pear trees and apple trees, you prune them a bit different than you actually would a peach tree. You know, the peach tree, I told you about them, they have to have an inside, okay? They've got to have the airflow, and there's one right there. They've got to have that airflow. So, see, your pears and your apples are kind of cousins. They have to be treated about the same way. So, the bees decided today that they want to be up here in the pear tree. Let's go ahead and walk around this way. Okay, no, we're not going to get stung. Let's go ahead and move this right here. And I'll let you get a closer look at them. Don't be afraid, okay? I'm not afraid, so you don't have to be afraid either. Okay, there we go. Aren't they pretty? They're just doing their thing. I let them do their thing, and they let me do mine. I try not to pester them too much. But these pears are going to be absolutely beautiful this year. Okay, let's get out and look at some more strawberries. I've had more strawberries than I've known what in the world to do with. That's another pile of branches and limbs and stuff like that that I'm going to be doing something with too with my wood chipper. So, like this limb right here where my foot is, that one is going to make some awesome wood chips right there. And again, you use those in your landscaping. And then it turns into mulch, and then it turns into some awesome stuff. I know it's a toilet, but I've got an idea for it, so I'm going to be doing something with that just shortly. Yeah, I know. Donna, you're weird, but yeah, I'm going to be doing something with that. It'll be a work of art, and then you'll be saying, I get it now. All right, let's go ahead and move this like this just a little bit. Okay, now this is another block garden. And so I put some little strawberry plants in here. And so I was told by someone who actually knows what they are talking about. See, I've got strawberry plants growing inside these little blocks right here. And they're doing a good job. They're already blooming and strawberries are going to be plenty this year. These are the Ever Ready, and I love the Ever Ready strawberries. I've had actually this winds up being the, what would I call these? The great-great-grandchildren of the first plants I bought in Henniker. And again, and man, I miss that place. I wish they hadn't went out of business, but it was a great place. It's where we got all the fruit trees, and it's where we got all the strawberry plants. So these, I think they're the great-great-grandparents of the first set of the Ever Readies. And so every year, I dig them up. I dig a few up, and you want to separate them just a little bit. And you think, well, I won't have any strawberries this year, but yes, you will. You'll have plenty of strawberries. And it gives them more energy if you kind of break them up, and then also you're not messing around with the root system. The roots are really, really happy. Okay, I hope my shadow's not going to be in the way. Let me just kind of work this way so you can see. We're going to have lots of strawberries. But a good friend of mine who raises strawberries said, don't use black plastic. You want to use white plastic down on the bottom to keep the roots away. And because we have some hot summers here, and that black is just going to accentuate more heat. So you want to use white. And so that's working out really good. And I try to water these things about 2 or 3 times a week, just depending on how dry it is. Okay, so they're doing a good job. I wanted to show you my granddad's old Cub tractor right here. So we took the plastic off so you could see it. I've sat on the back of that tractor many a times while he was plowing his garden. And that may be something my grandmother made a long time ago. I don't know, but that's been sitting there ever since we moved back. And so what he did was a crank on the front of it. Yeah, I remember it like it was yesterday. So there's a crank on the very front of it, and he would crank that thing. By the way, I've got some ideas for these old windows and stuff I'm going to do when it comes to gardening. You'll see, it's all put together. Phil says it looks like a junk heap around here because they keep junking stuff up. But I'll have future shows on what we're going to do with those windows. But take a look at this. Is it not the coolest thing you've ever seen? I just love this old tractor. Phil says he thinks he can probably get it working again. And he probably can because it doesn't have any of the computer stuff to it. Okay, so let's take a walk. We've only got a couple minutes left in this segment. By the way, look at those beautiful, beautiful little flowers. Aren't they pretty? I'm going to show you in an episode how to make dandelion honey. And what we're going to do is kind of mimic. Hey, buddy. You going to speak to everybody now? Every time I turn the camera towards him, he starts looking off. He's camera shy. So we put the white plastic here. We're getting this one ready for next year. Okay, so we have, see how you can get it ready for next year? We have all of this beautiful, beautiful cardboard under here. And of course it was wet when we first put it down, so that's good. And then Phil has put the white plastic on it because we're going to actually plant stuff here, probably more strawberries. This place is turning into a strawberry farm. So let's take another look. Now this is the strawberry garden I had from last year. So the plants I let you see just a few minutes ago, they're the grandparents from this batch right here. So see, we separate them, and it gives you a better root system. You're going to have bigger, plumper, huge strawberries out of this. And okay, this is left over from last year, and I had these great big huge marigolds I got from my friend Deja Lee. So I've got some seeds growing from those again, and we'll put those out too. Okay. All right, folks. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of The Edge on ICU Radio. We are your source for news and entertainment. You can find, oh, look how beautiful those are. You can find us on television, channel 182, on Charter Communications, and Abundance Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Thank you again so much for watching. It's been so good to be with you today. You take care.